This is Tuesdays with Ted. That's me. And I'm sharing with you everything that I know in hopes that you can elevate your life. Hello, how's it going? It's Ted. It is Tuesdays with Ted, and I'm officially live. Hello, my Instagram friends. It's Tuesdays with Ted. I'm officially live, and we are talking about wellness and bringing wellness into your life. So every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific, I almost said Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific and 6 p.m. Eastern, I share with you everything that I know in some category that has helped me live what I feel like is a pretty cool life. So this past weekend, and obviously you guys, I want you to share with me any tips and tricks that you know, or please feel free to ask any questions as I go through this whole little talk about wellness and how to add more of it into your life. So this past weekend, my wife, my lovely wife, Lauren, and I led a Ted and Lauren's yoga, cooking, hiking retreat to Malibu, our lovely town here in Malibu, which looks a lot better than that fence behind me, but that's in Malibu too. Anyway, so we had a great group of people, and we did yoga in the morning, and then we had a nice breakfast that Lauren cooked, and then we went for a 2 to 3 hour hike, 2.5 hour hike, and then we came back and had more lunch, and then she did a cooking lesson, and it was a vegan cooking lesson, and they were making almond milk and almond butter and pecan butter, and they were making sweet potato crust pizza with roasted onions, roasted tomatoes, and beet pesto. It's so like epic. Like the stuff that she comes up with is crazy town. But anyway, so it was a fantastic retreat, and then after the cooking lesson, people had a nice time to just chill and have a nice shower, relax, and then we did yoga on the beach, yin yoga on the beach, which was also super cool to just be lying down, chilling and stretching while the waves are breaking, 15 feet in front of you. So it was super cool to be here and really share the wonderful things that Malibu has to offer, because we live here and it's a cool place and everybody knows about Malibu. And just 6 months ago we were like, wait a second, why don't we just do a retreat here? Why don't we have people come here? So it was very cool, and that inspired us to A, want to do more, and B, want to offer these services to corporations and families and different affinity groups around, because we feel like Malibu has such an amazing it's such an amazing place, and we have friends, and Liz, who's behind a camera over there, she and her fiance Colby, they're getting married. It's so exciting. They do what's called water WOD training. So they do all kinds of super cool, fun, like swim stuff and workouts in the ocean, and that's just something that we would add to what people can do when you come to Malibu. So it's pretty much an awesome little place, and we're working with some hotels and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go into all that. Hey, Vitaly, how's it going, buddy? So anyway, all this talk about wellness and living a good life made me want to talk about wellness today. And I was thinking, okay, well, I can talk about what does wellness mean, right? Liz and I were just talking about what does wellness mean? And basically, my simple definition is just means feeling good. Right? I mean, if you look at the dictionary, it means a state of health, a state of good health, right? But that's so vague, and wellness is like that big term that people throw around. And Blue Hawk Yoga has a question. He's asking me, what got me into yoga? So a quick answer for you there, Blue Hawk Yoga. 20 years ago. I was 19, end of 1996 or 1997. I can never remember for some reason. But I had finished a project that was an independent film, actually, but it was like a horrible experience. It was a great experience that I'll never do again, let me just say that. But anyway, I was kind of depressed because I put my heart and soul into this project, and I had a girlfriend at the time who we weren't dating. She was just a friend of mine who was a photographer, and she said, "Hey, I want to take you to this yoga class." And I said, "Oh yeah, Sting does yoga. Why not?" Like, I'd seen a television interview, and he was doing yoga in his backyard in tree pose. I thought, oh, that looks pretty cool. Why not? That was actually what got me into yoga. I did that first class with this girl, and ever since that class, I've been practicing 3, 4, 5 days a week. It's crazy, but I was totally hooked. It was Brian Kest was my first class, and actually I have to give him credit because he's the guy who hooked me on yoga, and I basically did his class solely 3, 4, 5 days a week for 2.5 years before I started practicing with somebody else. Anyway, so back to our wellness plan here for today, our wellness talk. So basically the definition for me for wellness is feeling good, right? Don, how's it going, Don? Don was one of our people on the retreat. Don and his 14-year-old daughter, Emma, who's a runner. So they're from Texas. You're welcome, Blue Hawk Yoga. They're from Texas, and it was fun to have them actually run up in the hills here in Malibu. So a lot of you guys that follow my escapades here in Malibu see that I run uphill a lot. And Don and Emma are from Texas, East Texas, and it's pretty flat, so they don't get a chance to do some of these big hills. So it's always fun to bring someone here and say, hey, sure, let's go for a run. And then it's like wham, straight up. So it's very challenging for those people who don't necessarily do that. Vitaly, going great, thanks. Health to me is just physical pleasantness. That's interesting. We talked about that, Vitaly. Even if you eat bacon and eggs all the time, it won't be healthy if you start feeling crappy. Yeah, it's true. So one of the definitions that basically I sort of have is kind of my definition of wellness really is feeling in a state of optimum health. What does that mean? To me, it means being strong, it means being happy, it means feeling light and energetic, and there are a lot of ways to get yourself there, which is exactly what we're going to talk about. But to me, that is the main definition of wellness. So, but also, there's something called the Global Wellness Summit, and there's the Global Wellness Organization, there's Global Wellness Day, and a lot of these, so this kind of leads into more of like a spa thing. Excuse me. And I thought, well, it'd be fun to, like, why do people go to a spa? People go to a spa to reset, they go to get a massage, they go to sort of get away from it all, turn off their phones, and be pampered. And I thought it'd be great to share, hey Roman, it'd be great to share a few different ways that we can all add some wellness, some joy, some happiness, and some spa-like wellness into our lives, and not have to spend $200 every single time we go to a spa. So we're gonna go down, and feel free to contribute in any way that you want to in this here, but I'm going to start, and the first thing I thought of was sleep. If you sleep well, you're definitely going to add a little bit more, and I was more wellness into your life, right? This weekend we were discussing, and some people have a hard time sleeping, and if you have a hard time sleeping, the last thing you're going to want to do is be more energetic, right? You're barely making it through your day because you're tired or you're exhausted, and you're just trying to have coffee or figure out how you can gain more energy. And I know it seems counterproductive, but sleep is such an important thing that we have to do. So I also, in my sleep department, my sleep category, I put down, Don says, just a small hill, don't believe him. Or Emma said that maybe. But I also put a nap, because I think that napping is a super important thing to do. I know some people, when Lauren and I first started dating, she was like, yeah, I can't nap. I'm not a napper. I don't really nap. And some people aren't nappers. Some people aren't nappers at all. I like to nap if I can. I don't really do it so much these days, but there was a time where I was totally fine taking just lying down, taking a 20-minute nap or 30-minute nap, and it would rejuvenate me, and I would go about my day. But the reason I start with sleeping or napping is because think about a spa. If you're in a spa, you want to be pampered, right? And you're just going to spend your time, you're going to relax, you're going to put your head back, you're going to be vertical, whether it's on a massage table or on the floor if they're doing some kind of weird, funky massage, I don't know, Thai massage or whatever. But you're essentially going to be having this experience where you're not upright, you're not thinking about stuff, you're just totally relaxed, which leads to my next number 2, which would be Shavasana. So Shavasana, those of you that practice yoga on a regular basis, and if you don't, you have to. I think that it's necessary. I know it's not for everybody, but it's for most people. Shavasana is the final pose in most yoga sequences. So you'll do yoga, and then all of a sudden you'll lie flat on your back, you'll close your eyes, you're kind of in the shape of a star almost, feet are about mat distance, arms a bit down by your side, eyes closed, and then you have your Shavasana. And usually that in the yoga class is anywhere from just a few minutes to 7 minutes to 10 minutes. If we're on a retreat, we'll try to do a longer Shavasana, which is always nice. But the one way that's totally free to add more wellness into your life is to take a few minutes, especially if you have a hard time meditating, which is the next category. But if you have a hard time meditating, take the opportunity to be in Shavasana. So you just, whatever. If let's say you have a moment to go have lunch or whatever, and you can come back and you'd have to create this in your life. You have to be active and create it. And let's say there's a room that you can go to. Obviously, you're not going to lie flat on the floor in the bathroom, but if you can find a secluded place in your office somewhere where you can just lie flat, close your eyes for a few minutes. It's so rejuvenating to do that. So sleeping, napping, Shavasana, and then our next one is meditation. And meditation, everybody knows meditation is awesome. Everybody knows meditation really helps us calm down, gives you that spa-like feeling when you're sitting and you're relaxing and you're meditating and you're connecting. What I always tell people when I teach meditation is you ultimately want to connect with that innermost self inside you that is always peaceful, right? It's always peaceful, it's always calm, it's always happy. We all have that inside of us. And call it your divine self. If you believe in some sort of God, then maybe it's your God self. Whatever that is for you, you can call it source energy or the universe or whatever it is. We're all connected. So whatever you believe, that sort of is this amazingly peaceful place inside you. We all have it. So it's a matter of tapping into that place. And meditation really is about tapping into that place, understanding your thought patterns, your mind, so that you can calm down the mind a little bit and stay more in touch with that place inside. So really, the reason it's the third category is because if meditation's challenging for you, then take a nap or do Shavasana or meditate. I mean, if you can, meditation is probably the best way to do it. If you had your choice. I mean, if you're not sleeping, then definitely meditate. All this meditation is making me want to sit cross-legged now. Let's talk about meditation. But anyway, I'm going to give you right now in this 3 basics for meditation, so you have something to actually draw from. The 3 basics are sitting up straight. So I know if you're watching this live, you can't see my full body, but it's okay. I'm sitting up straight right now. And then the second thing, so you want a straight spine. Second thing, not the second thing. This is not 2, this is 3. The second thing is a relaxed breath. So your breath should be calm and relaxed, and then you close your eyes. And then the third thing is a focused mind. Oh, hello there, Madison. Oh, yes, did you want to come say hello? Are you walking over here? Uh-oh, she might knock down the cameras. Oh, hi, kiddo. So the third thing, yeah, those are my flip-flops. Here, come here, kiddo, say hello to everybody. Oh. There she is. Say hi, can you wave? She's like, Dad, I'm waving to myself. There you go. How about the people on Facebook? Can you wave to them? Yeah, there you go. You're so cute, kiddo. So the third thing to do in meditation, you're sitting up straight, you have your eyes closed with a nice calm breath, and then focus your mind. So if your neighbor is pounding some weird thing behind you, that could possibly be a distraction for you. So you want to relax and focus on one thing. So I always tell people about a focal point. Oh, yes? When you're 17 months old, it's hard to have one focal point. Yes? You want to stand up? That's the plane. So can you take her? Wow! That's a helicopter. That's Lauren. So the focal point in the meditation is, thanks you guys, you're all saying adorable, adorable. Thank you very much. That's our little kiddo. That's our little kiddo, Madison. So in meditation, straight spine, even breath, and what I call a single pointed focus. So you want to think about one point and use that as your cue in a way, or use that as your way to focus your mind. So think about, so traditionally in yoga, they're thinking about the third eye center, or they're thinking about the heart center, but it doesn't matter. You can think about the beach, you can think about the top of a mountain, you can think about the swing you had when you were a kid. I always loved the image of like the swing that was on a tree. Something peaceful for you, and you sit tall, you relax, and you breathe, and you focus on that point. And inevitably, you're going to be distracted, right? You're going to think about the breeze, you're going to think about your clothes, you're going to think about what you have to do. Someone's going to come up to you and and interrupt you. You're going to hear sounds from the backyard or the next door. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. The main idea in meditation is that you accept the distraction, whatever it is in your mind. You accept it, and then back to your focal point. And when you go back to your focal point, that is the exercise in and of itself. You just think about it. I'm thinking about something different. Come back to the focal point. You know, let's say it's the beach, right? I'm there. I'm sitting on the beach. It's super peaceful. I'm listening to the waves. Oh, wait a second. Did I lock my door? I forget. Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay. You know, I'm thinking about the beach. Oh, okay. Did I turn off the oven? Oh, wow. Okay. Well, it's okay. I'm at the beach. You know, hopefully you turned off your oven. But the point is, and then as you continue to practice that technique, simple technique, sitting tall, even breath, single pointed focus, then those thoughts, those distractions get slower and slower, and then you're like, oh, maybe, did I turn off the oven? Maybe I did, right? Like it's like all of a sudden things become a little bit slower. You start to hear the breeze and feel the breeze, and all of a sudden time changes, right? Like our concept of time. It's funny. We just watched Genius, the National Geographic show, all about Einstein and the theory of relativity. How, you know, in a moment's notice can feel like 2 hours, or it can feel like 2 minutes. 2 hours can feel like 2 minutes. And essentially it's similar. You want to slow down your perception of time in the moment. And that's what happens in meditation. That's the feeling that people go to a spa to get. So if meditation works for you, do it right away. Take in the middle of the day, just sit up nice and tall, relax, all you need is 3 minutes. If you can do it for a minute, you can do it for 3 minutes, and then later you can continue to practice. But it's one of the best tools to add more wellness into your life, for sure. So we got sleep, we got Shavasana, lying flat on your back, and we got meditation, and you got the basics there. So next thing is some different things that are kind of cheap. Those three things are totally free. The next thing is some cheap things that you can do, like take a bath. I guess here's a free thing I wrote down. Walk around in your robe. When you go to like the Ritz-Carlton and you get a spa treatment, or basically most spa treatments will hand you a robe, and you get to walk around in your robe and feel like you're, you know, whoever at a spa in a robe walking around in flip-flops, right, or sandal, whatever. And sometimes to kind of create that in your own home, I also wrote down taking a bath. Now, that's another free one. You can just sit down in the bath, relax. But then I also wrote down body scrub, cucumber, eye masks, all these little treatments that you'd normally pay $60 for or $80 for or whatever, you can do at home. And there's no reason not to. Why wouldn't we carve out some of the time in our own life to give back to us, to create that sense of peace and joy and wellness and a state of optimum health in our lives, right? It only makes sense. We don't have to necessarily go to the greatest spa. I'm getting notifications from batteries. But we don't have to go to spas all the time and spend all this money just to like refresh ourselves. We can work on doing it on a regular basis. And I don't know if it was last week. Did we talk about consistency last week? Or was it the week before? No, last week was crow pose and then handstand. But so consistency is a key thing when you're trying to stay fit, working out on a regular basis, being consistent, developing a meditation practice, making sure your diet is on point. Well, this is the exact same thing. And I am an environmentalist, so I wouldn't recommend you take a bath every single day because you'll be wasting a lot of water. But once a week or once every couple of weeks or once a month, like do something to treat yourself, and you don't need money. I think sometimes that they're like, well, I can't go spend $190 on a massage. I agree. But at least you can do something that helps you feel like you're taking care of yourself, which I think is one of the great things about wellness. What we want to do is make sure that we are in this optimum state of health to ourselves and treating ourselves in that way. So let's go down them. So a bath with bath salts or candles, right? You create the environment for yourself to just chill and just relax. And guys, yes, you can do it too. It's totally fine to pamper yourself as a guy, and stop pampering yourself at the bar with a drink in your hand. Like those days, please let them be over, right? It's like we're adults now. That's not the thing that we do. If you're still in college, then that's fine. Go do what you need to do, but get it out of your system, and then move on and become a real man. So then, how do I really feel about that? So essential oils is another kind of cheap. You can go buy some oils. We had on our retreat, actually, Sage Wellness was a sponsor of our retreat. So they gave everybody a nice little peppermint halo essential oil with a fun little bag. And that was great because essential oils, whether it's lavender or peppermint or any other kind of essential oil, but just a nice inexpensive way to create more wellness in your life, to like put it on your hand, take a nice deep breath, or take a nice deep breath, or put it on your neck or on your temples. All these different things will help you just feel better. Just a quick split moment to help you feel better, to have a nice kind of deep breath of joy and happiness, right? So forest bathing, we talked about that in our episode where we talked about nature. So there's a practice in Japan that's actually a real thing. It's called Shinrin Yoku. And if you heard this episode when I talked about time in nature, this is exactly what it is. But there are doctors in Japan that prescribe what they call forest bathing. Well, they call it Shinrin Yoku, but it literally translated means taking in the forest, or forest bathing is what it's commonly referred to. But spend time in nature. Go for a walk. There's another free one for you, right? You may have to pay for parking, depending on where you are. But it's another great way to relax, kind of check out, have that sense of peace, or get that sense of peace, cultivate that sense of peace and joy and relaxation. I mean, that's what it's all about, because our lives are hard. Relationships are tough. Careers, it's like takes work. Things, all these different things take a lot. So how do we balance that out? Well, we balance it out by using this one or many of these multiple tools that we have, and that's what I mean. It doesn't take a lot. It takes a few minutes in a meditation. It takes a walk in the forest. It takes, in the forest, I say, in a park, whatever it is. Sit in front of a lake in Central Park if you're in New York City, or take a walk on the beach here in California, or if you're on a lake, some of you are in Texas on a lake, or you can sit down. And our next one is ethereal music. So if you've ever taken yoga, sometimes you hear this super chill music. Now, I play all kinds of crazy music in my classes, from Rihanna to Dave Matthews and U2 and Michael Franti, along with some super cool, chill, vibe, Shavasana music. All you have to do, and people ask me all the time, what is your music? What is your Shavasana? Where did you find that Shavasana song? Because it puts you in this kind of altered state, this state of no mind, essentially, right? But you're developing and cultivating that sense of peace and calmness inside. So we talked about walking around in your robe. We talked about ethereal music, forest bathing, essential oils, bath salts. Herbal teas is another one. So when you're doing all this stuff, let's say you take a bath, you light some candles, you put on some music, sip a little tea. Or we talked about the eye mask, the cucumber eye mask. But then the final one actually is from Liz. Thank you very much. She was like, hydration. I thought, oh my gosh, yeah, cucumber water, right? Cucumber water. Every spa you go to, they have some kind of like cucumber water or strawberry fruit water or whatever, infused water. I remember when that wasn't even a thing, and then all of a sudden we're like, oh, check out this infused water. Check out this water here. This is my glass of water. It's not infused at all, and I love it. But you can, to feel that wellness spa feeling, put some cucumbers in a pitcher of water, put it in your fridge, and then come out and just chill out in your robe, have a little drink of some cucumber water, and you're gonna feel like a king or a queen, and you don't have to go to the spa. Of course, if you want, go do it. But I'm just here to give you some tips and some tricks on how to do that. And I'm actually going to write a blog post about this, which I typically post on this page the next day. So check back in tomorrow, and you'll actually see the written part. And you know what I'll do is I'll even put a link on this page. But I very much appreciate you guys. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back right here next week with another topic to help us all live a better life. Thanks, you guys. See you next time. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. I'd also appreciate it if you share with your friends, but subscribe so you get regular updates when I'm posting new content. So click that button over here, or maybe it's up under here, or maybe it's down below. It's got to be somewhere around here, I think. So it's the universal energy ball of subscription. So click that button. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.